What did you do before the Misfits?
Got drunk a lot. Went out and went crazy and got in a lot of trouble and that kind of shit.
Yeah, but what did you do besides that?
Artwork.
Now, you said that once that you took your artwork to Marvel.
That was while I was in the Misfits.
Oh, it was? You didn't, so the stuff that you drew before, you didn't do anything with?
No.
No?
Showed it to people, gave it away as presents, you know, that kind of junk.
So what got you motivated to start something like the Misfits?
I was always involved in bands.
What was the bands you were in before the Misfits? Did they do anything?
No.
Did you play, or was it just basement garage stuff?
We played. Not a lot, though. Like, here and there, local junk, you know what I mean? It wasn't a touring band or anything like that.
Were you with Jerry at that time?
No.
No.
Jerry wasn't in the first incarnation of the Misfits.
Well, who was? There was only 3 of you, right?
There was the drummer. That's on the Bullet record, right? Not the guy who's on the Cough Cool record, but the guy who's on the Bullet record, Mr. Jim.
Yeah.
It was him, me, and this girl on bass. Okay. Then it was we got that guy Manny, and the girl was just not showing up, so we got Jerry. Manny knew Jerry. That's how I met Jerry. And then we eventually got rid of Manny, and we got Mr. Jim back.
So when you recorded Cough Cool, though, was Jerry on Cough Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So what got you to do a band and you called it the Misfits with that whole thing? Because the first record's so different than what the next thing was that you did.
It wasn't really that much different. It's like if Cough Cool would have had guitar,
right,
it would have sounded like that. You know what I mean? They're all from the same time period.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, Bullet predates Cough Cool by 3 years.
But it didn't come out till
way after.
So, when you, how long you had, let's see, with the Misfits, how long before you came into the conceptual part of it?
What do you mean?
Well, because in the first one, on Cough Cool, you just have, you guys are just standing there, there's no guitar, and it has just like this real kind of sound. But then the next record, it's not showing the concept until, the concept didn't appear till, well, you had Night of the Living Dead, which showed that you were into horror type stuff.
Well, Horror Business came before that.
Yeah, and there's Horror Business.
Which had Teenagers from Mars.
Well, when you
see, we have a whole album of stuff. It's just basically what you got to see. The Bullet 45 was the violent side of what we were doing. You know, the death, you know, accepting death and all that kind of stuff, and the maybe even a political side, you know, but not really. It was more on the violent side of it, you know, and that's that side of it that was shown.
Why did you want to show the violent side?
Because I like violence. I think it's part of the world. Do you?
Do I like violence?
Do you think that violence is part of the world?
Well, naturally, violence is part of the world.
Well, there you go. Well, it's only normal to write about things that you see a lot of and that you experience a lot of. So that's what I like to do.
Now, is that the stuff that you write about then? Is that pro-violence or is that aware of violence? I wouldn't say anti-violence, but aware of violence that exists.
Yeah, more like that. More what I am is a survivalist. I would say that first off, and a realist. You know.
So you put that aspect into the
I put everything
writing.
That's, I don't know. You see, basically I just come up with an idea, and if I want to write about it, I do, and I'll take it wherever usually I'll start writing lyrics, and they'll take me where I want to go, or they'll take me where they want to go.
Well, how'd you come across the concept? Did you do the music first, or the lyrics first, or did you...
I don't have any set standards. Sometimes I come up with great lyrics. Sometimes stuff is like poetry or whatever, you know, that I just work in, like Bullet. That was all poetry and stuff I did. And, you know,
Is that the record that's dedicated to somebody? A couple of the records were dedicated to somebody.
Halloween is dedicated to the girl who put on our first Halloween show at the Irving Plaza.
Was that a girlfriend of the...
No, she was the vice president of the Monster Movie Club. She was a really nice girl, really nice. And the first record is the only other record dedicated to anybody. And that's just dedicated to a whole bunch of people who helped out.
Mm-hmm. So what about the Teenagers from Mars 7-inch that you said is out? You made 5, right?
There's 5 acetates of Static Age and Teenagers from Mars.
Now, why did you never put it out?
We just didn't really like it at that time, you know what I mean? We were very picky about the records we put out, which may sound weird now when you hear them, but at that time, we were real picky about what came out and how it sounded and stuff. There's also a Who Killed Marilyn, Where Eagles Dare 45 that never came out.
Right. But you end up doing that on your own.
Yeah.
Well, you did the Who Killed Marilyn.
Yeah.
Now, Where Eagles Dare, that's on the Static Age album that you recorded but never came out.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Now, what was the Static Age album?
That was a lot of the stuff that's on Legacy, Brutality, and a few songs that aren't.
Now, why did
and
you...
actually, that's, well, this is off the record, but Cliff Bernstein is the one who lined that whole thing up. We sold him Blank Records because we own the name, and they came out with Blank Records for Polygram, for phonogram.
No, with Blank, that's what Cough Cool was on, right?
Yeah, we owned it, and they had this whole promo coming out, and that they had Blank Records, but our record predated even their concept. So they had to do something, and then they signed a deal with us that they would give us 20 or 30 free hours of studio time at Mercury Records in New York, and we would sign them over the label, and then they had an option if they liked the record that they could put it out, and all this kind of stupid stuff.
So is that why Cough Cool's not on Plan 9? It's not. Is Cough Cool Plan 9?
No, that's why Bullet is on Plan 9 and not Blank.
Right, but isn't Cough Cool on Blank?
Yeah.
But not on Plan 9.
Yeah. That's why we had to get a new label. So we came up with Plan 9 for Bullet, but it also had a lot more backers in it than it does now.
Okay, so then what is the way the records came out, even with Teenagers from Mars and Static Age, the way you recorded them?
Oh, you want a chronological order?
Yeah.
Okay, you got Cough Cool.
How many did you press of that?
500. But
500?
someone out West Coast bootlegged them.
With the same kind of cover?
Yeah,
and
but they bootlegged them a long time ago. Not now. They bootlegged them back then.
Could you tell the difference if you saw them?
No. I couldn't. I haven't seen any of the bootleg copies, or at least I don't think I've seen any. The way you can tell ours is that our records were pressed on really thick vinyl. Okay?
Okay.
The Cough Cools were pressed on very thick vinyl. They were pressed over at Roma Bar in Brooklyn. That was an old-fashioned place. They did reggae small presses of, like 200, 300.